Today we're taking a look at the 2017 Nissan Rogue Sport in the S trim level. Now this vehicle comes in S, SV, and SL trim level, SL being the highest equipped. And S, the one we're taking a look at, is the base model. Now this is different from a Nissan Rogue. It is not another trim level in the Nissan Rogue, but rather its own lineup of cars. Now before we get started, we're just going to take a look at what features are standard in the base trim level. We're not going to be covering what features are offered standard or overall in the Nissan Rogue lineup. We're only going to be covering what you get on this base trim level. So right off the bat, as soon as we start, you'll start to notice the Nissan Rogue standard, the Nissan Rogue Sport comes with projected beam headlights. While on the regular Rogue, which is what we have behind us here, you can start to see you don't have that at standard. So in the Sport trim model, even though it's a little bit more affordable, you actually have a lot of nice standard features, along with these nice LED daytime running lights standard here in the base trim level. Now we're going to start off on the outside, take a look around the vehicle, and then move our way in. Now another feature here is 16-inch steel wheels with covers on them. Now there is an optional on the base trim level appearance package that will give you these nice 17-inch alloy wheels, but here in the space trim level, which is what we're taking a look at today, you have these nice steel wheels. Now moving along to the vehicle, you'll start to see these nice standard body colored door handles. Now the reason why I'm pointing this out to you is because when it comes to the Nissan Rogue in its base trim level, you'll start to see that they actually have, instead of chrome door handles, they have blacked out door handles. But while when it comes to the Nissan Rogue Sport, even on its base trim level, you don't have any of that. You have these nice, a lot more premium looking body colored door handles. Now as we start to move around to the back of the vehicle, you'll start to see how not only does the design change from the Nissan Rogue, but the overall stance is a lot lower, it looks sportier. Now let's go ahead and hop into the trunk of it so we can start to look at what else is different. Now one small thing, if you did not notice as soon as I opened the trunk, is this nice cargo cover here. Now normally that is an accessory on any model, on any trim level when it comes to Nissan, but when you option out to the Nissan Rogue Sport, this cargo cover is actually standard. No options to get, no accessories. You actually get it here, boom, in the base trim level. Now it is removable, so if you did not want it, you simply just unhook it and you can take it off, unhook it on both sides, and you're good to go. But now it's nice, it's good, it's a good thing to have on. Aside from that, you also get 6 tied down hooks. We're going to take a look at a couple here. There's one hidden underneath here, and then the other one's going to be underneath there. So 6 overall in the trunk tie down hooks, which means it's ready to load up cargo if you want to. And if you load up cargo, you can rest assured knowing that it's going to be covered behind the cargo cover. So as soon as we close it, you can't see anything, it's covered. Now another nice feature to have is, of course, what we're looking at here. A standard backup camera, no options to get, none of that. As soon as you put the car in reverse, the backup camera turns on display that we're going to be taking a look at once we get into the inside, and it's good to go. Now here in the back, whether you go for the white model or the red model, it really doesn't matter. You have a standard body colored spoiler, again overall adding to the sportiness appeal of the Nissan Rogue Sport. The profile, oh look, again, a really attractive vehicle. Now the Nissan Rogue does come available with intelligent all-wheel drive, but if you don't option out for that, Nissan does not leave you out of the code. So actually it comes with all 4 all-season tires. So whether it's a snowy day, rainy day, hot weather, whatever, these all-season tires are going to make sure you have the optimal grip no matter what weather you're in. Now one small little feature to note, the Nissan Rogue Sport comes with approach lighting, which means as soon as you unlock the vehicle, you're greeted with these nice, the LED headlights, as well as everything on the interior lit up as well. So as soon as you get inside the car, everything, the car is greeting you, it's lit up, it's ready for you to go. Now we're taking a look at the interior here. So as we know, on the Nissan Rogue, on its base model, we have a lot of nice soft touch materials, leather and everything. But now as you're noticing here, or even in the Rogue Sport, all of those features make it in as well. So soft touch materials, leather here, a blacked out door handle, making it look a little bit more sporty. Now This seat is actually a 6-way manual adjustable, so you can go up, down, adjust it back, and go front and back if you decide to. So it's not just a 2-way adjustable or 4-way adjustable as many of its competitors may have. This is a 6-way adjustable seating position. So let's go ahead and hop in the inside, where we're going to take a look at some of the cooler features as soon as we turn on the car. So you do have a key with integrated alarms. You can unlock it, lock it if you decide to, and a panic button as well. Now, we didn't take a look under the hood, but if you want to take a look under the hood, make sure to check out the channel where we're doing the comparison with the Nissan Rogue and Rogue Sport. In that video, we actually do go underneath the hood and we take a look at the engine. But just to give you an idea roughly, so we can keep on moving, 141 horsepower in this Nissan Rogue Sport. So again, lighter weight, smaller vehicle. It's going to get this car moving relatively pretty quickly. Now, you also have the standard, this nice advanced driver assist display. So now, if you're familiar with this with the Rogue, there's not going to be a lot of surprises here. It's pretty much a very similar system with this nice D flat bottom steering wheel. So again, overall, giving it more of a sporty appeal. Now, that backup camera that I was mentioning earlier. So just go ahead and shift the car into reverse. This is a CVT continuously variable transmission, an Xtronic CVT from Nissan with certain shift points. So as you're driving, you don't get any CVT noise. It's just winding up. It'll actually mimic an automatic transmission and shift if it has to. Now, speaking of shifting, it also comes with, of course, shiftable shift points if you decide. So if you put it in drive, you can shift up and shift down. Now you're hearing that beat because we're in first gear. We're not able to shift to second gear now. Standard Bluetooth to make phone calls, receive phone calls, and also play music through Bluetooth. Just simply press the media button until you get into Bluetooth and you're good to go. USB auxiliary. So really, I'm going on and on and on because there's a lot of features offered here, even in the base of the base and the trim levels of the Nissan Rogue. Now, when it comes to space, I'd say I have the driver's seat right around, I guess, my height, where I'm comfortable. You'll see I have a lot of headroom here. It's not cramped at all. A lot of leg room. Now let's go ahead and let me just sit behind me really quick, just so we can try out the leg space here, which I wouldn't be surprised if it's plenty. So as soon as I get inside, you start to notice I actually have a lot of leg room here in the back. Headroom is actually so very plentiful. You also have these nice Nissan never really tends to forget about the rear passengers. So if you're noticing here, we have standard air vents for the rear seat passengers. So even though it is marketed towards singles, if you do have anybody here in the back, you can rest assured that they're not going to dehydrate with sitting in the back, whether it's heat or not. Standard safety lock. So if you do happen to have kids back there, you turn on the safety lock and they're not going to be going anywhere unless you open up the door for them. Now, one of the coolest features to have if you do have an iPhone is Siri Eyes Free. You simply press and hold it to activate Siri. So if I do have one, of course, Siri would have prompted. And you can just talk to it like a regular Siri. You can send voice commands, send text messages, play music, ask Siri a question, and it's controlled from your Nissan vehicle simply by pressing this button here. Again, very tech forward, a lot of nice features to have here. You have Eco button. So if you press the Eco button, the vehicle is going to adjust the way it drives. It's going to be a lot more economical. It's going to be a little bit slower. You're not going to get all the power, but you're going to be saving a lot on the miles per gallon. Now again, one thing a lot of competitors overlook, on this one you have a tilting steering wheel and also telescopic. So you can make it come in, come out if you want to. Have it adjusted to the perfect position that you want it. You have a 12-volt outlet. So if the USB isn't enough for you, you want a little bit more power, go ahead and hop into the DC outlet, 12 volts to charge your phone, super fast. Now, when it comes to the interior, Nissan really does not forget about its passengers. So as you're taking a look at, these are comfortable cloth seats. Leather is available in the SL trim, but even this model that we're taking a look at, it's a very sting resistant and dark material in this particular model. Again, it complements the overall look of the Nissan Rogue Sport. You have a 5-inch color display, AM, FM, auxiliary, all of the main things that you want, including satellite radio, are going to be standard here in the Nissan Rogue Sport. You have an advanced tire pressure monitoring system that we're going to take a look at here. So once I start driving, you actually can see the individual tire pressure of every single tire here, as well as it includes the easy tire fill alert. So if you're filling up your tires, you're outside of the vehicle, once you get to the correct tire pressure, the vehicle's going to honk, let you know you're there, and you can stop. If you keep going, it's going to start honking 3 times, let you know, hey, you might want to stop because you're a little bit over when it comes to the air pressure. Now, the rest of the features we're going to talk about are a lot of more safety features, which would be seen here through the chassis control. Now, I don't want to bore you guys too much. I do want to mention what they are. If you want to bother and looking them up online, it's actually one of the few things Nissan does that other competitors don't do that really improve overall the ride quality. Well, we have active ride control, active trace control, active engine braking, which is going to help you use a little bit less of the brakes. So again, overall your brakes will actually last a little bit longer. A Nissan advanced airbag system and vehicle dynamic control with traction control. Again, I'm gonna summarize a little bit of what that means here, but I really do recommend looking it up online, getting a full explanation. So active ride control, what it's gonna do, if you're over a bumpy road, it's gonna actually brake individual tires to make the vehicle squat a little bit so you don't feel all the bumps in the road. Now, if you're confused of what I mean by that exactly, if you go over a bump, normally the vehicle's gonna jump or whatever, but if you're braking it, you're containing some of that jump. I really do recommend watching the video. It's gonna explain it a lot better than I would. And also active trace control, which is gonna sense when you're going through a corner. So if you're going through a corner, it's actually going to help you go through that corner by, again, braking individual wheels to make you just go through that corner a whole lot smoother. And active engine braking, which pretty much is going to use the power of the engine braking to rely less on the brakes and brake the vehicle in a more efficient manner without having to, of course, waste your brakes. So, of course, some people don't have it, but Nissan does. You have standard cruise control even on the basic models with audio controls on the flat bottom steering wheel, so you can put the volume up on the steering wheel, change the presets of everything, control this advanced driver assist display, and go through all of the channels. I really feel like you should go a little bit more into detail in this. Go to my channel where I actually dissect it on the regular road. A really nice thing to have here. A lot of competitors don't have it. They're missing out on key real estate here. It really is another way to talk to the vehicle. It gives you a lot of relevant information, important information as you're driving. You're not distracted having to take your look from the front of the road to look at the stereo or anything. You have all that information, the important information, right at your fingertips. So now, before we wrap this up, let's take one quick last view around the vehicle. Now, this particular one has the appearance package, so again, that's why we have the alloy wheels here, but it's not going to be standard. So let's take one quick walk around the vehicle to really observe the niceties of the Nissan Rogue Sport. So again, this is the base trim. So these are all of the features you're going to get standard on the base trim. If you're curious to know what an SV or an SL would offer, which is again a little bit more higher end models, make sure to check out the channel where we're going to go one by one with individual packages added to see what you get in the Nissan Rogue.